Imagine this. You go online to buy something you've ordered dozens of times before. You type it into Amazon's search bar. And suddenly, it's gone. No warning. No announcement. No out of stock. Just gone. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. Amazon quietly removes thousands of product listings every single month, not because they're banned, but because Amazon simply decides to move on. And in 2025, 9 everyday household products are slowly disappearing from Amazon's store. Some are being replaced, others restricted, but all of them are quietly fading from search results and shop fronts. If you don't want to be caught off guard, stay tuned, because number 1 is already affecting millions of homes. I'm your host from Spend Smart, and this is your early warning. 9. Old-style blinds and curtains with long cords. Amazon has started quietly removing listings for old-school blinds with long pull cords, the ones we all grew up with, where you tug the string and hear that satisfying click. Those blinds are being phased out, not through an official ban, but by Amazon's algorithmic invisibility. They're vanishing from search results, recommendations, and even sponsored ads. Why? Because of updated safety concerns and a major industry shift toward cordless and smart window designs. Parents have raised concerns about the risk these cords pose to children and pets, and regulators have taken notice. Amazon's response? Quiet but decisive. They're slowly turning down the visibility. A homeowner recently searched for replacement blinds and found nothing trustworthy. Just vague third-party sellers and endless currently unavailable notices. So, if your home still uses these traditional blinds, it might be time to upgrade before Amazon makes that decision for you. Because when Amazon stops supporting a product category, that's usually the end of the line. 8. CFL bulbs. The spiral lights are fading. Remember those twisty spiral CFL bulbs that promised energy savings before LEDs took over? They're next. Amazon is pulling back hard on CFL bulbs, the compact fluorescent lights that once lined every hardware store shelf. If you try searching now, you'll notice fewer results, more unavailable listings, and almost no sponsored ads. Why? Because several U.S. states are now restricting or discouraging CFL sales due to their mercury content. When a product becomes harder to sell in certain regions, Amazon doesn't wait, they scale back everywhere. These bulbs aren't banned nationwide, but they're being quietly replaced by LEDs. One shopper in California shared that when he tried to reorder his favorite bathroom bulbs, every listing either said can't ship to your address or had already been swapped for LED alternatives. So here's the real story, CFLs aren't being ripped from shelves overnight. They're being replaced in silence. If your home still relies on them, don't wait. Once Amazon stops promoting them, prices will spike, and your only option will be leftover stock or overpriced third-party resellers. 7. Mercury fluorescent tubes, gone in a flash. If your garage, basement, or workspace still uses those long humming fluorescent tubes, you know, the TT8, T12, or T9 types, listen closely. Amazon is pulling the plug. These mercury-based tubes are being phased out around the world. Europe has already banned them, and Amazon, following the global trend, is quietly removing them from listings. A warehouse manager in Oregon said he tried to restock for his facility and found all his usual suppliers gone. No stock. No updates. No explanation. Amazon isn't banning them outright, they're just choosing not to show them to you anymore. Instead, they're spotlighting LED tube replacements, safer, more efficient, and mercury-free. If you still rely on these older lights, now's the time to grab replacements while they still exist, because this category is fading fast. 6. Commercial refrigerators using our 404A. This one's a bigger deal for small businesses and serious home setups. Amazon is quietly stepping away from commercial refrigerators that run on our 404A refrigerant, the gas once standard in grocery stores, delis, bakeries, and even large garages. The reason? As of January 2025, the EPA officially restricted our 404A because of its high global warming potential. While that rule targets manufacturers, Amazon's response was immediate. Listings are disappearing, sponsored ads are slashed, and parts are becoming impossible to find. One restaurant owner in New York said she tried to reorder replacement valves and compressors, only to find no results. Now, Amazon is pushing refrigerators with newer refrigerants like R448A or R32. It's not about availability, it's about alignment. Amazon's quietly moving toward climate-friendly tech. So if your system still runs on R404A, this is your early warning. Replacement parts are drying up fast, and once they're gone, you'll be paying premium prices or turning to unreliable sources. 5. Home air conditioners using R410A. Now, this one hits closer to home, literally. If your air conditioner uses R410A refrigerant, you're already running on borrowed time. Manufacturers have started transitioning to R32 and R454B, which are more climate-friendly. And Amazon? They're following the trend fast. HVAC installers across the U.S. have reported canceled orders, out-of-stock messages, and entire listings quietly deleted. R410A has been the home cooling standard for over a decade, but now it's considered a high-impact greenhouse gas. Fewer units are being made, fewer are being sold, and Amazon search results tell the story: dwindling listings, higher prices, and endless currently unavailable tags. If your AC dies next summer, don't expect Amazon to bail you out. Act now, plan ahead, or risk getting caught in the transition. 4. DVD and Blu-ray players, the end of the disc era. Got a shelf full of DVDs or Blu-rays you still love? You might want to back them up because Amazon is quietly retiring disc playback devices. Manufacturers have either slowed or completely stopped production, and Amazon's listings are fading fast. Streaming hasn't just changed how we watch, it's changing what's even available to buy. Collectors are already noticing. Prices for popular Blu-ray players have doubled in the past 6 months. Search for one today and you will see fewer models, higher prices, and almost no new releases. Amazon isn't banning them, they're just moving on. And once that happens, it's only a matter of time before all that's left are overpriced second-hand units. If you value your disc collection, grab a backup player while you still can, because when Amazon's algorithm decides a product's era is over, it's gone for good. 3. iPhone SE 2022, iPhone 14, and Lightning accessories. Apple's transition to USB-C isn't just a design update, it's a domino effect. Amazon is already scaling back on Lightning-only accessories, chargers, docks, adapters, and cases. European regulations are mandating USB-C for all new devices, and Amazon is adjusting across regions. That means if you still use an older iPhone, those $9 Lightning cables might soon become rare, pricey relics. Even in the US, search results are shrinking. The once endless options are down to a few third-party listings with questionable quality. So ask yourself, how many Lightning cables do you actually have left? 2. 1. Better stock up now before Amazon's algorithm fully moves on. Because when Apple says goodbye to Lightning, Amazon follows, quietly but completely. 2. New laptops and PCs running Windows 10. If you still prefer Windows 10, brace yourself, Amazon is phasing out laptops that come with it. Microsoft ends official support in October 2025, and Amazon's already clearing space for Windows 11 and newer systems. A teacher in Ohio recently tried to order 6 Windows 10 laptops for his classroom. The next day, he received a notice: this item is part of the final available stock. That's how fast it's happening. Manufacturers are done producing them, Amazon stopped promoting them, and sponsored ads are disappearing. So if you rely on software that runs best on Windows 10, now's the time to grab a backup machine, or at least secure the installation media while you still can. Because after support ends, prices rise, listings vanish, and older systems become collector's items overnight. 1. Windows 10 licenses and installers, the final goodbye. And now, number 1 on our list. The one quietly disappearing behind the scenes, yet affecting millions of users worldwide. Windows 10 licenses, USB installers, and retail boxes. They're becoming increasingly hard to find. More currently unavailable notices are showing up, and fewer verified sellers are keeping them in stock. An IT technician told us he stocked up on activation keys back in September, not because of hype, but because he's seen this pattern before. Once official support ends, demand spikes, and the few remaining legitimate licenses skyrocket in price. Amazon hasn't said anything publicly, but their focus is crystal clear: Windows 11 and beyond. So, if you still rely on Windows 10, whether for personal preference, legacy software, or older systems, now's your best moment to prepare. Because once Amazon's algorithm moves on, those listings will vanish without a sound. So, which one of these caught you off guard? Old blinds? CFLs? Maybe your trusty Blu-ray player or iPhone cable? Here's the truth: Amazon doesn't announce when it's moving on. They just quietly change the algorithm, and what was once a household staple turns into a discontinued memory overnight. That's why we're here, to keep you ahead of the curve. I'm your host from Spend Smart, helping you spot the trends Amazon doesn't talk about. If this helped you stay informed, like, follow, and subscribe, because the next list might include something you use every single day. Stay smart. Stay prepared. And always spend smart.